Hello and welcome to our video on factorising linear equations. Factorising is the opposite process to expanding. When we factorise, we put an equation back into brackets, so your answer must have brackets in it. I'll put the example down here. Expand 2x minus 14. So you can see there's no brackets in the equation to begin with, and your job when you're not expand, factorise is what we're doing. Your job when you are asked to factorise is to put it back into brackets. So your answer needs to make sure it has brackets in it. Just jotted that down here for you. Expand means to get rid of brackets. And factorise means to put into brackets, to put back into brackets. So they're the opposite process of each other. We factorise by finding the highest common factor and taking it out the front of the brackets. Highest common factor could be a number only, a pronumeral only, or a number and a pronumeral. Remember, a pronumeral is the letter part of the equation. Let's take a look at this example here. We need to find the highest common factor between these two terms. This one has an x term in it, this one doesn't have an x term in it, so there's not going to be a pronumeral part that's in both of these. We need to look for the highest common number that goes into both these numbers. So we have a 2 and we have a 14, and hopefully you can see that there aren't too many numbers that go into 2. 2 is the highest number that does go into 2, so I'm going to put here, highest common factor is 2. So we take a 2 out the front of the brackets. Then we need to say 2 times what makes 2x. So we're just left with an x on the inside. 2 times what makes negative 14? Negative 7. Make sure there's an equal sign at the start of your line. And we've got it. It's factorised, it's back into brackets again. Example 2 is, these are all factorising ones, so I'm not going to keep writing factorising each time. 9x plus 12. There's an x term here, no x term here, so it's just going to be a number again. Find a number that goes into both of these. 9 doesn't go into 12, so we can't use 9, so we need to go a bit lower than that. And I think 3 would be useful. Highest common factor is 3. Take a 3 out the front. 3 times what makes 9x? 3x. 3 times what makes 12? Plus 4. And it's inside brackets and it's fully factorised. Example 3. X squared plus 7x. So this has got pronumerals in the first term and pronumerals in the second term, so we can take our highest common factor is a pronumeral. This is an x squared term, this is only x, so we can only use x as our highest common factor. Take an x out the front of the brackets. X times what makes x squared? X times x. X times what makes 7x? 7. And it's fully factorised. Final example here has a number and a pronumeral part in the first term and a number and a pronumeral part in the second term. So we might be able to take out a number and a pronumeral this time. The 6, so we just need to do them separately. Start with the number, then start with the pronumerals. So we've got a 6 and an 18. So 6 will go into both of these. So I will take out a 6, and I think I will take out the negative as well because there's negative in both of them. We've got an A term here and A term here, so that can come out as a highest common factor. And B and a B squared. We can't use B squared because there's only B squared here, not here. but we can use just a b by itself. Negative 6ab. Okay, negative 6ab times what makes negative 6ab? It's the same thing, so it's just a 1. Negative 6ab times what makes this? So we do the number part first. Negative 6 times what makes negative 18? Negative times positive 3 makes 18. A times what makes A? 1. So we don't need to put anything here. B times what makes B squared? So that will just be a B. Close your brackets. And you've factorised it. Have a go at these examples for yourself. There are 4 examples for you to have a go. Pause the video now and try these. Okay, hopefully you've had a go at these. We need to find the highest common factor between these two numbers. It will be a 4 in this example. 4 times what makes 4x? 4 times x. 4 times what makes negative 8? Negative 2. Close the brackets. Done. Factorised. 10 and 20, the highest common factor will be a 10. 10 times what makes 10y? 10 times what makes 20? Third example. You can easily see there's a 5 that we could take out as a highest common factor. But there are 2 x terms as well, so we can take out a single x. 5x times what makes 5x squared? So we need to times that by another x. 5x times what makes negative 5x? So we need to times it by negative 1 to put the negative out front. Last example, hopefully I'll squish it on the page. We'll have a number and a pronumeral part to this one. So we have an 8, and 8 goes into 40, so we can take 8 out. There's an a term here and an a term here. This one's squared, so we can take out a squared. B term here, no b's here. So we can't take the b out as a common factor. It's not common to both of these terms. 8a squared times what makes 8a squared b? We just need to times it by b. 8 times what makes 40? 5. And a squared times what makes a squared? It's already there, so we're fine. B plus 5. If you wanted to check any of these expanded ones to make sure you've got the right answer, factorised, you could just expand them again. And you just need to multiply out and you should get this solution here. So that's a good way of checking your problem to make sure you've got the right answer. Thanks for watching the video.